Yo, 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 HipHopHeist, man, what up? We back with another live reaction today. We on Hollywood Faith, man. We watching what really happened to Corey Harrison from Pawn Stars. Allegedly, he was just dropped with a lifetime prison. I don't know what he was charged with. But we watching what really happened to Corey Harrison from Pawn Stars. We're going to get to it. So we're going to find everything out right now.
My dad knows a lot about diamonds and precious metals, but what he doesn't know is how hot vintage jewelry is right now. If I'm going to prove I deserve a piece of this company, I'm willing to take risks like this to show I know what I'm doing, even if it does piss my dad off.
Besides Corey's smart decisions, his TV appearances, like the memorable I Lost My Head in Vegas episode of iCarly with Rick and Chumley, have also cemented his place in the hearts of fans.
Hey, Chief, I want to pawn my wife's watch.
As soon as I'm done with this customer.
But despite the overwhelming love, fame, and adoration, Corey's journey has been anything but smooth. Beneath the glitz and glamour, he has faced a series of scandals and controversies. For instance, back in 2014, Corey Harrison gave the patrons of Spectator's Bar a night they'd never forget during a wild booze-filled evening in Jefferson City. Corey and his biker friends were on a sponsored motorcycle tour when they decided to stop in Missouri's capital. Corey had been partying hard for a week straight before this notorious night. And when I say he had practically lost his mind, it's no joke. Corey had been getting drunk and having fun all week. But according to his mates, that night...
Hey, we know what having fun means. He said getting drunk and having fun. You know they staying up, so you know they on something.
Beneath the glitz and glamour, he has faced a series of scandals and controversies. For instance, back in 2014, Corey Harrison gave the patrons of Spectator's Bar a night they'd never forget during a wild booze-filled evening in Jefferson City. Corey and his biker friends were on a sponsored motorcycle tour when they decided to stop in Missouri's capital. Corey had been partying hard for a week straight before this notorious night. And when I say he had practically lost his mind, it's no joke. Corey had been getting drunk and having fun all week, but according to his mates, that night he went far and beyond. Little did they know that this would backfire heavily. All of them decided to stop at a bar, and the moment Corey walked in, it was obvious things were going to get out of hand. He was so sloppy drunk and obnoxious, everybody knew this was heading for trouble. Living up to Missouri's Show Me State nickname, Corey, after downing a ridiculous amount of shots, started exposing himself publicly. If you think this is humiliating, think again, because he didn't stop at just that. Not only did he drop his pants, but he also started peeing on a bar stool and seemed very proud of it. To make matters worse, a staff member had to clean up after him with a towel. But the chaos didn't end.
Yo. Come on, man. That's some white. That's that white. That's what they do. That's what they do. That's that white boy humor. That's what they do, man. They pee on bar stools. That is crazy. Man, come on, bro. And the girl had to clean it up. What do you mean? I'm quitting after that. I mean, I'm quitting before that. If I'm the girl, that's crazy.
And even there, after posing for fan photos with his pants down, Corey picked up a bar stool and threw it, resulting in him being thrown out of the bar. When this news broke out, it wasn't just the bar owners who were furious. Negative comments and public backlash was quick to follow. However, Corey later expressed deep regret for his actions. Not my finest moment, obviously, he admitted. He also stated that I sincerely apologize to everyone for my behavior. I am truly sorry. This wild night was just one of the many scandals that have cast a shadow over his life. In the same year, Corey survived a major motorcycle accident that could have ended in tragedy. While on a supply run for his birthday party, thrown by his family and friends, Corey was forced to fling himself off his bike to avoid a disastrous crash. The bike's bottom fender mount had broken off, causing it to spin out of control. Remarkably, instead of heading straight to the hospital, Corey returned to the party. It wasn't until later that he ended up in the ER, where he underwent surgery for a broken hand. The ordeal left him with 8 screws and 2 plates. But what if I told you that Corey Harrison hasn't just messed up outside, but has also tangled with his own family members? Corey has definitely inherited some of his dad Rick's sharp negotiating skills, but he chose to apply them in the most unexpected place. Back in the day, Corey once threatened to leave the family business if he didn't get a piece of the ownership pie.
Dude. No, seriously, Dad, what do you want me to do? Corey. Nah, it's yours and the old man's. It's the stores that you tell me to spin. Let him walk away. Not ask me. Honey, you this, dude. Over the.
The side of Corey was even revealed in season 7 of the show. In a dramatic turn, Corey confronted his father and grandfather, declaring that he will take a job elsewhere if he is not granted a 10% partnership in the shop. The tension was palpable as he stood his ground, showcasing his determination and business acumen. In the end, Corey remained with the shop, securing a raise and a 5% partnership, with the promise of a greater stake in the future. This bold move did not only earn him a percentage in equity, but also boosted his net worth to an impressive $5 million. Despite this seeming like a classic case of familial friction, Corey kind of earned his stake. But this one is certainly not the end of his troubles. You see, Corey Harrison was back in the headlines again in 2021, and once more, it wasn't for the best reasons. According to reports, Big Hoss rented an RV for what was supposed to be a relaxing getaway in the California desert in 2020. However, the trip took a disastrous turn, leaving the vehicle's owner, William Villafania, with quite the ordeal. Villafania claimed that Corey failed to return the RV on the agreed date and in the promised condition. It all started with a phone call a day late from Harrison's assistant, explaining that they were involved in an accident and were going to have the RV towed back. But the drama was far from over. It took another 2 days for the completely wrecked vehicle to finally make its way back. Villafania was shocked by the state of the RV. Beyond the expected damage from the crash, the RV's awning had been ripped off and its interior was a chaotic mess, littered with empty bottles and eggs, among other things. Villafania estimated the cost of repairs to be a staggering $30,000. Adding to his frustration, he claimed he had to cancel 10 reservations due to the vehicle's unusable state. Despite the mounting evidence and the hefty bill, Harrison allegedly refused to pay for the damages, forcing Villafania to take the matter to the authorities and file a police report. Harrison's representative tried to downplay the incident, telling the media that Corey rented the RV, the pop-outs wouldn't go back in, and it was not drivable. He had it towed back to Las Vegas and had insurance on it. But come on, no one is that dumb to fall for this explanation. Corey's romantic life is no better either. Just like his father Rick, Corey has not had much luck in the relationship department, enduring 2 divorces that have left their mark, leaving him shattered. His first marriage was to his high school sweetheart, Charlene. They exchanged vows in 2009, but by 2015, their union had broken beyond repair. Although the official reason for their split was never revealed, many believe that Corey's demanding schedule and love for partying played significant roles. But there's no denying that Corey was completely heartbroken by this. However, love knocked on his door once again. And in 2017, Corey ventured into matrimony once more. This time with Karina, nicknamed Kiki. Sadly, this marriage was short-lived as well, lasting only a year. Despite the short time, their split seemed friendly, especially since Karina was pregnant during the divorce, and soon after gave birth to their son, Richard Benjamin Harrison. There have been whispers about them possibly getting back together, but they've kept any potential reunion a secret, adding a bit of mystery to the whole situation.
Corey's love life doesn't end there. He's been linked to Tara Paisley and has also been seen with an unidentified blonde in some recent Instagram photos. But the saga is far from over because Corey's troubles never end, do they? He found himself in yet another hiccup just a year ago. In 2023, he was pulled over around 2 a.m. after his white Ford F-250 pickup was seen veering into a bike lane. According to a police report, the arresting officer noted Harrison's eyes were bloodshot, and there was a strong odor of alcohol coming from inside the truck. Corey, who had flown to Vegas that day from Minnesota, where he was filming Pawn Stars Do America, was asked to do a field sobriety test, which he allegedly failed.
Metro Police arresting Pawn Stars Corey Harrison early Friday morning, accusing him of driving drunk. A police report obtained by 8 News Now says Harrison was swerving while driving a truck near Main and Charleston. An officer pulled him over, put Harrison through a sobriety test, which police say he failed.
Harrison was then asked to provide either a breathalyzer test or a blood sample. He eventually agreed to the breathalyzer, but the machine was broken, so his blood had to be drawn. The results of this sample remain unknown. But Harrison was booked for an alleged DUI as a result of the incident. Despite all the highs and lows, there are 2 of the darkest chapters in Big Hoss's life that he just can't let go of. In June 2018, the patriarch of the reality show, Richard Benjamin Harrison, also known as the Old Man, passed away at age 77 from Parkinson's disease.
And families saying their final goodbyes Sunday to 77-year-old Richard Harrison.
This was a significant blow to the Harrison family and fans of Pawn Stars alike. But the tragedies didn't stop there for Corey. Adam, Corey's brother, had been struggling with addiction for years. Though he never appeared on the show, he maintained a good relationship with his father and brother.
Rick Harrison's son, Adam, has died. There are unconfirmed reports that he died from an overdose. Now, 8 News Now received a statement from the Harrison family, which says our family is extremely saddened by the death of Adam. We ask for privacy as we grieve his loss.
Sadly, Adam succumbed to his battle with addiction and died from a fentanyl overdose in Las Vegas at the age of 39. Corey paid tribute to his brother in a heartfelt Instagram post, sharing a baby photo of them in a bathtub together. He wrote, "I will always love you, Bubba," revealing the deep bond they shared. These personal losses have profoundly impacted Corey Harrison's life. It is a reminder that behind the allure of fame and fortune, everyone faces their own share of pain and struggles. Despite being a prominent figure on Pawn Stars and enjoying financial success, Corey has not been immune to life's challenges. What are your thoughts on Corey's story? Share them in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.
Yo. We back. My bad. I had to go pay some bills real quick. That shit was crazy, man. Crazy that the other son passed away. Let's get to it though, man. We got to get to it, man. What's up with the All right, man. HipHopHeist, go like and subscribe, man. We're just going live. We're figuring out something to talk about. What's really going on? Man, we know Kanye dressed up in a Halloween outfit. Crazy Halloween outfit. We know the Rolling 60s got something going on over there. China's 1.3 billion port is just the beginning. What does that mean? We'll check that out right now. But yeah, man, I just heard Pawn Stars. I don't know if y'all watch Pawn Stars, but Corey Harrison sentenced to life in prison.
On the popular TV show Pawn Stars, has faced some very sad and difficult times in his life. From losing his beloved grandfather to going through a tough divorce, Corey has been through a lot. But even with all these problems, he has stayed strong, kept working hard at the family pawn shop business.
What would your wrestling name be?
El Guapo.
What does that even mean?
and remained a much-loved star on the show. In this video, we'll look at Corey's journey, from his early days learning the pawn shop business to the heartbreaking events that could have ruined his life and career. We'll also see how he has managed to overcome these challenges and continue to be successful in the industry he loves. Subscribe to Quarter Mile.
No, we ain't doing that.
In the rap game, a lot of crazy things have become the norm, especially with gangs and rappers. One example is checking in, a glorified form of extortion supposedly pushed mainly by the Rollin' 60s Crips.
It's been rumors that LA is probably one of the most dangerous places for rappers. Do you believe that's true?
Yeah. Because, I mean, everybody be checking in.
But not every rapper is down for that. From Rick Ross standing his ground.
Ain't no checks getting cut. Ain't never no checks getting cut. I don't play those games. Okay. I consider that extortion. We don't play like that.
To MC Hammer putting gangsters in their place.
So basically, he came at Hammer like, hey, man, in this LA and everything, man, and things can happen, you know what I'm saying? You to holler at me, man, you know what I'm saying? Holler at me for protection. Hammer said, protection for what? See, man, I got 12 bodyguards out there. So 5 of them straight killers. You know what I'm saying? So what you talking about? You know what I'm saying? I don't need no protection.
These are moments when the Rollin' 60s Crips tried to force the wrong rapper to check in, Big U. So now, one name that comes up in this whole checking in situation is Big U. Recently, he and some members of the Rollin' 60s neighborhood Crips got taken in, and one of the wild charges against him is extortion.
Gene Henley Jr., a career criminal known as Big U, who used his contacts and leadership role in the Crips criminal street gang, the entertainment industry, to further his own criminal enterprise. An enterprise that engaged in murder,
Let me show you why I stopped paying for all my other sample libraries. This is Arcade by Output. This thing has sounds, samples, instruments, effects, everything you could ever need all in one place. I remember a friend of mine sent me a link one day to try it. From the moment I opened it up, I was like, oh, this is a game changer. And now I'm the one telling everybody about it. The sample quality is crazy, and you can literally customize everything. You could pitch it up, pitch it down, chop it, extend it, modulate it. Sometimes I like to just bring in my own samples and hit them with this lo-fi effect. The variety and the versatility of the kits is just crazy. We could go from something like this in your hand to something like this. I feel like whether you're just getting started in music production or whether you're Grammy nominated, there's something in here for you. So if you're looking for a unique way to redefine your sound and just kind of add more dynamics to your composition, you gotta get Arcade. You can literally try it for free.
extortion, robbery, human COVID fraud, and other felonies.
Besides being the leader of the Rollin' 60s, Big U has been super vocal about rappers needing to check in, publicly saying it multiple times.
But other dudes do got to. And I'm just gonna keep it 100. Just imagine this though. If another crew pull up in you guys' area and they ain't checked in with none of y'all, you gonna feel some kind of way.
Yeah. There are even videos of him warning what could happen if they didn't, which has people talking about whether all those robberies, assaults, and even deaths of rappers who refused to check in were connected to him.
Anytime you want to do movies in the hood, just check it in. We can make sure it's done. Movies, videos. But if you don't,
Check it in. Oh, well. We're going to check you in, all right? We're going to check in all of your equipment.
For example, there have been rumors that Big U was allegedly behind PNB Rock's murder during a robbery in LA. In an interview, when asked about the situation, he talked about how he checks in when he travels, basically implying that PNB Rock should have done the same.
We in LA. Yeah. When I go to Chicago, I respect Chicago. Wholeheartedly. I check in. When I go to Atlanta, I check in. And I don't think nobody is safe. I know dudes right now from LA who are actual gang members who have been robbed for their jewelry.
And then there's Nipsey Hussle. A lot of people believe Big U had something to do with Nipsey's death, mainly because of their known feud. But according to insiders, a major reason Big U might have ordered a hit on Nipsey was because Nip stopped paying him for so-called protection.
Everybody know Big U and Nipsey had an argument, homie. Everybody know Big U was shaking Nipsey Hussle down, making him pay protection fees, sort of. Nipsey Hussle got smart and say, I want to pay you $20,000 a month no more. And Nipsey Hussle come up dead. He lost his protection. And the hood killed him. We all know this, homie.
Another reason is Nipsey got too big. Even though Big U was a boss in the streets, the moment Nipsey pulled up, all the attention was on him.
Wasn't nobody screaming Big U till he had to get the little homie out the way. It was Nip, Nip, Nip. It wasn't you. Big U. Big U ain't in the hood when Nip come through the hood. The little homies ain't looking at Big U, they looking at Nip, cuz.
And in gang culture, no one is allowed to be bigger than the gang, so they had to take him out.
Yeah, Nip was getting bigger than the set, cuz. And don't nobody get bigger than the set is what I was told. So they killed that.
Now, while not all rappers were extorted by the Rollin' Six...
That's crazy. Hey, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Charleston, wow. For that.
60s, people can't help but say that under Big U, the Rolling Crips were allegedly doing it more than anyone else. Some rappers lost their lives because of this, some barely made it out, and a few actually stood up to these gangs. Let's take a look at them. Starting with Pop Smoke. Back in 2022, Hassan Campbell was on a podcast where he talked about how these extortionists keep tabs on rappers, knowing exactly what hotels, villas, and spots they're staying at.
You gotta check in. On the West Coast, they more disciplined than we are. When you step, they know the hotels, the villas, everywhere you go.
According to him, Pop Smoke didn't check in with the right people, which allegedly led to them breaking into his rental home, a situation that unfortunately cost him his life.
Pop Smoke didn't check in, so he got checked out. It's just that simple. They knew he was there.
Rest in peace, Pop.
Hassan also mentioned how much he respected Pop Smoke for not bowing down to anybody. It was just tragic that things ended the way they did.
I guess whatever Pop Smoke was claiming, he wasn't checking in. And I respect him for not checking in. I just hate the way he had to go out, man. Yeah.
Next up is Nas. According to Snoop Dogg, the first time he met Nas was in Gardena, a Crip neighborhood. Snoop was chilling with his crew when a white van suddenly pulled up, and out jumped Nas, dressed head to toe in red.
Yeah, the first time I met Nasty Nas, I was in Gardena.
And that's a Crip neighborhood?
Yeah, shotgun. And I was out there hanging tough with my homeboy. A white van pulls up, and it got like about 15, 16 people in it. All of a sudden, the door opened. Boom. Some dude jump out. They got on all red.
Snoop said his people were instantly on alert, guns drawn, but he stopped them, telling them that's Nas.
So the homies is like, they finna draw down on him. I'm like, hold on, cuz, that's the rapper from New York. That's Nasty Nas, cuz.
When Nas walked up to greet him, Snoop gave him some real advice, letting him know that in LA, rocking all red or all blue can get you caught up fast because you never know what neighborhood you might end up in.
And he shake my hand, I'm like, it's a pleasure to meet you, but let me let you know. When you ever in LA, don't ever jump out with no red or no blue on because you don't know what neighborhood you in, loved one.
This just goes to show that Nas didn't care where he was, let alone about checking in. But according to sources, that decision might have had consequences. Rumor has it his home was later invaded, though thankfully nothing serious happened.
Okay, Nas got his house broken into. 2 criminals went to the rear door, broke the glass, and kicked that in.
Next up is Eminem. Back in 2003, Eminem teamed up with the legendary Booyah Tribe on their
We'll bypass that ad real quick, man. Let's get to it. Let me know in the comments what you think about what you're watching. It's a damn shame. Elmer says, grown men sitting around waiting on handout. Marty says the feds checked in as his ass in jail. Fresno EG says Charlton White checks in with the FBI. Oh, man. Let's see what this ad talking about.
But this wasn't just your average rap collab. It had way more layers to it. For those who might not know, the Booyah Tribe wasn't just a hip-hop group. They were deeply tied to the Samoan gangs of Los Angeles.
You all got some gangsters coming this Saturday.
What?
And if you're familiar with gang culture, you'd know that the Sons of Samoa are no joke. They might come across as chill and easygoing, but when provoked, they're known to snap, and the consequences can be deadly.
Did you catch this? 100%. Simone. Lift up the shirt, bro. Lift up your shirt. Lift up your shirt. Show your tat. Look at that. Simone.
Back in 2020, Booyah Tribe's nephew, Monster Gunja, revealed that back in the day, his uncles weren't just rappers. They were also working as security for Eminem.
And didn't they do security for Eminem a little bit when M used to come out to the West Coast? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Turns out, Slim Shady was being extorted by the Los Angeles Crips.
He was getting extorted by some Crips.
Who, Paul Rosenberg was?
Or Eminem was getting extorted by some Crips.
But the Booyah Tribe came through for Eminem. They stepped in, protected him, and in return, got a feature on that track.
A few phone calls were made, and then that's how the feature...
Damn. They say Eminem was getting extorted. That's crazy. By the Crip, too. So who was that? Who was in charge of that? That's crazy.
Why don't you invest in TaxLink?
Why don't you get off the screen? Check out these comments, man. Influence says, ain't nobody checking in Atlanta. If you do, you a fool. Yeah, man. I don't know. This shit get dangerous, bro. Let's really talk about it.
That's how the feature came about.
This might also explain why Eminem never seemed scared of Suge Knight. Take, for example, the time when 50 Cent was filming the music video for In Da Club. Out of nowhere, someone yelled, "Suge Knight is here." That single sentence threw the entire set into chaos. Suge showed up. With about 30 men, reportedly members of a Mexican gang.
This is why I always respected Eminem, 50 that was with us. So Suge came, he had some Mexican. We from New York. You ain't never seen a with a tattoo on his forehead.
Amidst this tension, Eminem was also present at the video shoot. True to form, Eminem did not back down.
This is when I knew Eminem was real. He's like, oh, man. This is when I knew, I'm like, damn, Eminem is a real nigga. 50 outside, what's up?
Then there's the story from the 2001 Source Awards. Normally, artists could have their bodyguards nearby at these events, but for some reason, the rules that night required bodyguards to sit separately from the artists.
The way they had it set up, the bodyguards could not sit with their artists. You had to stand up to the side.
According to Eminem's former bodyguard, Big Naz, M ended up surrounded by a group of intimidating guys wearing red shirts, a clear signal they were affiliated with the Bloods.
And M was cut off on his way to his seat, and all these guys in red shirts surrounded him. And I'm looking at M's face, and I'm looking at these guys. I'm like,
Big Naz quickly realized something was off and sprinted across the venue to get to Eminem. He said it was obvious these guys had been sent by Suge.
You see all these guys talking about death row, death row. Death row. So by the time I cut in, I step in front of him, I push the guy's back. I'm like, yo, what the going on here, man? I was like, Death row, what does it got to do with him? He said, hey, man, Suge sent him a message.
However, despite all this tension, it's highly likely that if Suge Knight had ever laid a hand on Eminem, he would have faced serious consequences. Thanks to Eminem's connection to the Samoan gang, a group even Suge was known to tread carefully around.
I was like, what's up?
Suge Knight scared of you. Suge Knight scared of you.
Give a f- and then everyone I talked to, they was, man, is Suge really this, really that? I was like,
but
I'm Samoan, man. I don't give a f- I don't care. You King Kong, you Godzilla, you gonna get your ass.
Next up is MC Hammer, and he is no joke. Anyone who's ever crossed him will tell you that firsthand.
That goddamn MC Hammer, very serious about beef. Y'all laugh and y'all joke about Hammer. No. MC Hammer was there. Approached me. He was like, Red, I'm gonna tell you something. You young, but I don't allow nobody talking about my mama. You understand me? I said, yes, sir.
Sure, he had the flashy dance moves, the parachute pants, and a style that didn't exactly scream tough guy. But behind all that, Hammer had real street cred. He was well connected, highly respected, and backed by a crew that didn't play around.
Yo, his entourage was something.
Yeah, he from LA too. I mean, he from Oakland, so you know the Bay don't play.
Like I never seen in my life. Like it was literally
100 people.
More than 100 people.
Benito, one of Hammer's vocalists, shared an incident from back in the day. After an event in Los Angeles, Hammer and his crew were packing into their vans to head back to the hotel when they noticed a familiar face rolling up. Michael Concepcion, one of the original founders of the Crips.
It's this dude in his wheelchair and about 4 or 5 dudes with him, hanging out. I know they Crips because my cousins are all Crips in LA. So I'm like, that's a gangbangers.
Michael told Hammer they needed to talk. Basically, he offered Hammer protection while he was in LA, warning him that anything could happen in the city.
Like, hey, I want to holler at you for a minute, Hammer. Now, the thing is, Mike already knew who Hammer was because they did the video. We were on the same gang before. So basically, he came at Hammer like, hey, man, in this LA and everything, man, and things can happen, you know what I'm saying? You just holler at me, man, you know what I'm saying? Holler at me for protection.
Hammer was taken aback by the whole thing and asked why he'd need protection when he had his own squad of bodyguards. 12 of them, in fact. And these guys weren't your average security detail. Some of them were straight-up killers. So Hammer wasn't feeling like he needed Michael's help.
Just holler at me, man, you know what I'm saying? Holler at me for protection. Hammer said, protection for what? See, man, I got 12 bodyguards out there. And 4 or 5 of them straight killers. You know what I'm saying? So, what you talking about? You know what I'm saying? I don't need no protection.
Michael didn't seem to like Hammer's response and kept pushing, saying Hammer should watch his back.
You need to holler at me, man. If you don't, something could happen to you, whatever. He said, what you trying to say?
You see Hammer, you
can't play with Hammer. Go ahead and, take care of that and everything will be cool. He said, start.
You see Hammer from Oakland, man. You know, they don't play in Oakland straight.
On me.
That's when things got heated. Hammer's bodyguards were ready to handle the situation right then and there, but Hammer held them back. Instead, he made it clear to Michael that one phone call from him could shut the whole thing down. Hammer wasn't bluffing either. The next morning, Michael actually came back to apologize, showing just how much respect Hammer commanded.
And Hammer, our people looking like, yeah, I'm waiting for you to move. Hammer, hey, what's up? He said, hey, man, it's like this. I'll make one phone call.
He said, I'll make one. He said, I'll make one phone call. Don't you move a muscle. All right, let's bypass that ad, man. Let's get to the comments. Ain't nobody checking in Atlanta. Oh, we just read that. Let's get to Rick Ross. Definitely got extorted for $50K. Oh, yeah, we know where we heard that, man. That's No Jumper, the FBI channel. Fifth would never check in. He has security that can legally smoke you. Man, a lot of these people do, though. I mean, a lot of these big artists have security that is legit. Zeus World said, I don't believe a word Snoop says. He stay lying. Oh, they probably talking about the Tupac and Nas interaction. But yeah, let's get back to it, man. HipHopHeist, man. Like and subscribe. Hit that super chat. And hit them notifications. We back with it. It's a live reaction, man.
It's just a way for these gangs to exert control and intimidate people.
Yeah, we gonna get out of here, man. HipHopHeist, man. Like and subscribe.